Before you write this off as simply another message, my kid, take a look around. Recognize this. It is not an accident that you are hearing these words. You haven't witnessed everything that is going on around you. Moments in your life that seemed haphazard. Painful delays, warnings that you nearly disregarded. However, I have been seeing you more closely than you know, so I urge you to pay close attention. Remain here. Don't jump forward. Don't allow distractions to take away what your soul wants to hear at this moment. Keep an eye out until the very end, because what I am about to share will compel you to reconsider the times you felt alone, the secret conflicts, the locked doors, and the odd uneasiness. This word is serious. This is private. It's timely. Additionally, you can miss the very truth that your soul has been yearning to comprehend if you depart too soon. I need you to slow down and let this to sink into your heart, as I meant, my child, before you proceed any further. Throughout the day, you've been lugging more than most folks in your immediate vicinity are aware of it. And there is still a part of you that feels ignored in the most important places. You now know how to maintain composure when your mind is racing. You've learned how to respond to straightforward inquiries with straightforward language, but deeper aspects of yourself are still unsaid and unexplored. You've mastered the art of surviving discussions without really being recognized. However, I need you to comprehend something that, if you allow it, may initially unnerve you and then reassure you it. I am not speaking as a remote force or an accusing presence lurking in the shadows of your existence when I encourage you to glance around because I might be observing you. As the parent who has never once lost sight of you, I am speaking. Not even when you attempted to hide from everyone, including yourself. I've seen you sit in crowded rooms and still feel oddly isolated. I've seen you turn to diversions because you believed that quiet was too revealing. I have witnessed the times when your hand traveled in the direction of items that offered solace, but just made the pain worse. I've seen your eyes get weary from holding feelings you couldn't quite put your finger on. I've witnessed you go back to memories you claimed to be over. I have witnessed the personal routines, the internal discussions, the silent concessions, the things you convince yourself are insignificant, and the burdens you conceal out of fear of what might happen if someone actually knew what was going on inside of you. I haven't turned away yet. I need you to do that here the best. You kept everything together so I didn't remain. You managed your difficulties so well that I didn't stay close. You are mine, therefore I stayed. You have occasionally misinterpreted my closeness. You've experienced conviction and believe it was a sign of rejection. You've experienced discomfort and believe it to be a sign of remoteness. You've noticed my presence close to your weak points and wondered if I might have come to expose you. But before fear lies to you, I want you to know the truth. I observe you because I love you too much to abandon you in situations where suffering has left you vulnerable. I keep an eye on you because there have been times when you were just a thought away from surrendering. Calling the wrong person is just one emotion away. One lonely night away from going back to what I've previously attempted to rescue you from. You might not be aware of how frequently I was the cause of the halt you experienced. How many times was it me who felt suddenly uneasy? How often did something inside of you tighten, slow, or hesitate just as you were about to move forward? I stood there to shield the tender parts of you, not to degrade you. Even though your actions have not quite reflected that wish, I have seen the part of you that still yearns for peace. I have witnessed the aspect of you that, despite your weariness from battle, nevertheless yearns for purity. I've witnessed how the truth soothes your heart, even if it's just for a brief period of time before life returns. I care about that tenderness. I care about that secret desire. I am aware of what the world observes. However, I am also aware of what is still alive beneath the barriers you put up to get by. Therefore, when I say that I might be observing you, I am asking you to quit living in the dark and alone. You not. The silence that frightens you is farther away from me. I am closer than the regret that comes after your worst choices. Where you thought I would never appear, I am. Stay with me if it makes you feel vulnerable. Don't flee from it. Breathe that truth. Because the locations where you feel most noticed by me can end up being the exact locations where you receive your ultimate healing. I also want you to know that I am not passively observing. I am not only watching your life as if I am waiting to see what kind of narrative you choose to write in my absence. I've been involved in ways you still don't fully understand. Because I was in front of them, some things never happened. Some doors never opened because I can see what's behind them. Some interactions ended before they could develop into attachments, routines that shattered before they could form chains. I stopped the impulses that would have hurt you more severely than you had anticipated, so they lost steam. Some of those moments have been described as frustrating by you. You referred to them as bewilderment. You referred to them as having poor timing. However, some of what bothered you was actually protection, and some of what you mourned was actually mercy. I've seen you long enough to understand the difference between what you want right now and what would gradually sap your spirit. I haven't let every desire turn into an opportunity because of this. For this reason, certain things broke down just as you believed they were starting. Because of this, some people started to distance themselves from you as you began to envision a future without them. You observed us. I perceived danger. You were disappointed. The thought of what might have occurred if I had taken a step back weighed heavily on me. I am aware of how simple it is for you to assume that if I am observing, I am mostly focusing on your errors. However, I see a lot more. I observe how you persevere while being worn out. I notice that nobody is applauding the slight moderation. I can see the words that you removed before emailing. I can see the tears you suppressed because you were too exhausted to give another explanation. I see the times when you were unable to pray. Even so, in the midst of the uncertainty, something inside of you continued to speak my name. I can see the battle in your spirit and the tiredness in your head coexisting. I see the softness that grief hasn't been able to eradicate in you. I see the fatigue. Yes, but I can also sense that you are not completely numb. It is important. You don't realize how important it is. I am still actively working in you as long as you continue to experience the pain when you wonder, the discomfort when you stray too far from tranquility, and the ability to distinguish between fleeting respite and true rest. I am still sketching you. Some things that the enemy hoped would perish in your quiet are still alive because of me. Therefore, I am personally and immediately begging you not to interpret this as a warning that will make you fearful of breathing. Consider that an opportunity to be truthful with me once more. Before you even get close, stop assuming you have to clean up. Give up pretending that I am only interested in the polished version of your heart. I've already seen what's underlying, and rather than leaving, I am still here, gently speaking. That ought to convey all of my feelings for you. Look around, my kid, not because I want you to feel anxious. I want you to be attentive, so look around. I want you to see the grace that continued to find you in situations where you ought to have fallen further. I want you to be aware of the disruptions that kept you alive. I want you to recognize that I was there when you felt something draw you back from the brink. I was present. I've been there. And if you let this reality to settle properly, you will begin to turn toward me with trust instead of always glancing over your shoulder out of dread. This starts at that point not with fear, not with guilt, but with acknowledgement. I've been observing you because I adore you. I am aware of what is attempting to contact you, because I am aware of what remains within you, and because I won't allow you to wonder without hearing my voice close enough to tell you that you were never left behind for a single second. Now that you've started to realize that I've been observing you with love rather than condemnation, my child, I want to lead you farther into something that might feel even more private. Every day the world comes into contact with a different version of you. And then there's the version of you that only comes out when the lights are low, the room is quiet, nobody is asking questions, and you don't have the energy to keep things organized so it appears manageable. More than anybody else, I am familiar with that secret side of you. I am aware of how you sound when you are attempting to maintain your composure in front of others. And I am aware of the quiet that comes after you at last by yourself, and all the feelings you pushed aside begin to return. When you tell folks you exhausted, I recognize the look on your face. However, what you actually mean is that you feel as though something inside of you is overextended in ways that you are unable to articulate. I am aware of how frequently you have had to suppress your emotions in order to get through the day, without crying in front of someone who wouldn't know how to handle your suffering. I've seen you grow cautious. I've seen you grow picky. I've seen you suppress aspects of yourself as you come to understand that not everyone can deal with fragility. But this is more important than you realize, so you need to hear me clearly right now. I am not uncomfortable with any version of you. Nothing about your inner existence makes me want to retreat. The contrasts in you don't scare me. Your conflicting feelings don't confuse me. The fact that you still struggle, despite your love for me, does not insult me. That you desire tranquility then, when the pain becomes too intense, continue to grab for the wrong things. That even though you are aware of what is correct, you occasionally feel too exhausted to make a snap decision. I am aware of the effects that prolonged pain can have on a person. I am aware of the damage that disappointment may do to trust. How judgment may be affected by loneliness, how self-talk can be affected by shame, and how protecting your heart, even if it starts to harden in the process, can be affected by repeated hurt. I've observed your adaptation. I've observed how some of your routines they weren't so much born out of defiance as they were born out of an attempt to manage feelings you didn't know how to handle. I've witnessed how you turn to diversion when the truth seems too near. I've observed how you keep yourself occupied so you don't have to feel. I've witnessed times when you desired solace but chose numbness because it was more convenient. Even yet I have never looked at you with disgust. I've given you a sympathetic glance. I am saying this explicitly because of this enter your heart right now. You keep thinking that I would be dissatisfied and aloof if I saw you for who you really are. However, I do see you in your entirety. I see the things you wish no one ever knew and the things you are proud of. I can see how strong you are when things go tough, and I see the weariness that ensues. I can see the tenderness you still possess. I can also see the barriers you erected around it. I can tell where you're being genuine. Additionally, I observe the venues where you perform since you are terrified of being misinterpreted. I see the pain beneath the attitude, the fear beneath the control, the grief beneath the annoyance, and the longing beneath the decisions that consistently leave you feeling empty. I continue to draw close because of this. You have it all together and I can't compare. You are profoundly loved in the places where you feel least lovable, which is why I am so close. Compared to your own thoughts, I am closer to your secret self. I already know the source of your emotions before you even realize they exist. Prior to you, I already know where the wound began, so I don't even need to label it. I already know what part of you is silently pleading to be held before you ever ask for assistance. So quit thinking that I just grudgingly enter your personal world. I've been waiting for you to allow me to be more open and honest there. Additionally, because I am so familiar with the hidden side of you, I am also aware of the precise times when you start to lose your tranquility, frequently before you even recognize it. I watch with such accuracy because of this. I don't only look at the options on the outside, I observe the internal changes that take place long before an obvious choice is made. I can tell when your soul is more worn out than your body. I can tell when you're desiring relief rather than destruction, when your thoughts start to veer off course. I observe how disappointment might bring up memories of past behaviors. I observe when a torque leaves you feeling raw emotionally, and you start grabbing for anything to calm the emotions it caused. When you tell yourself, I see, even while you know deep down that the line is closer than you would want to acknowledge, it's not that serious. I observe how you manage your own conscience. I see how you use the term exhaustion to delay compliance. I can see how you go back to some memories because a part of you still yearns for closure from places that are no longer able to provide it. I occasionally intervene in ways you don't comprehend because I see all of it. I occasionally intentionally cause discomfort. I occasionally let your tranquility go before your error is fully formed. Sometimes I want to stop a path before it becomes a pattern again, so I let a sentence from someone else linger in my memory longer than usual. I love you too much to let you feel at ease as you fall into what may hurt you later, so sometimes I let you feel restless. You've frequently mistaken that inward unease for pressure or perplexity. However, a lot of the time it was just my kindness keeping you from settling into something that would gradually deplete you. I am aware that you have been times when you questioned why you couldn't appreciate some things as much as you once could. Why certain behaviors felt heavier all of a sudden. Why some decisions made you feel more empty than before. Why some interactions seemed strange even when there was no visible problem. That's not always because life has changed, my child. Sometimes it's because you've changed. Sometimes it's because I've been bringing you closer and things that used to blend together start to clash with the tranquility I am restoring within you. That rejection does not equate to discomfort. To me, it is proof that your spirit is still alive. It indicates that I haven't let your heart to become numb. It indicates that I am still maintaining your inner sensitivity. Even though it is inconvenient, it is still a gift. Before we proceed, I want you to take note of something else. There has always been a part of you that seeks the truth, even in your most private conflicts. A part of you has always been able to tell when you are straying too far from your comfort zone. A portion of you has existed that, rather than praising their compromise, nonetheless feels the pain. Don't forget that. That pain does not indicate that you are irreparably failing. It's evidence that you still have a place in my heart. You wouldn't care if you were emotionless. You wouldn't be troubled by conviction if your heart had completely given in to darkness. However, you continue to experience stress because I am still present, active, speaking, sketching, and refusing to allow your personal life to become a breeding ground for the adversary. Permanent residency. I therefore want you to use this knowledge in some way. Give up viewing your unspoken difficulties as evidence that you are too far gone. Start thinking of them as the most honest place I want to meet you. Give up believing that the version of you that I tolerate the least is your private self. Since it needs the most care, honesty, and healing, it is frequently the version I cherish the most. Bringing me what is true doesn't need to wait till you feel powerful spiritually. Bring me the fatigue. Bring the confusion to me. Bring me the misplaced appetite. Bring me the loneliness you've been using as a diversion. Bring me the parts of you that are ashamed to be seen. Even though I've already seen them, I am still here, watching, hiding, and refusing to let you think that the most hidden aspect of you is the least deserving of my affection. It isn't. My voice is going to become distinctly personal there. Now, my child, I want to talk to the part of you that has nearly unseen, even to yourself, since you've been so accustomed to keeping your pain to yourself that it has begun to seem normal. You've mastered the art of navigating your days while concealing the burden on your chest. Even if your soul is anything but simple, you have mastered the art of providing straightforward responses. You claim to be exhausted, but in reality, your heart has been carrying burdens that it was never intended to bear on its own. You claim to be busy, but what you really mean is that you're scared of what might happen if you take your time down long enough to experience. When you need room, you smile. When you need to relax, you continue. You silently become unavailable to your own soul while making yourself available to everyone. I am not just observing your conduct on the surface, therefore. I need you to take a time to listen intently. I can see the fissures beneath it. I've seen you fight back tears as you respond to texts. I've seen you sit in places full of laughter, while your thoughts were far away, still reliving a traumatic event that occurred years ago, or earlier. The war did not cease when you closed your eyes the previous evening, and I have seen you wake up already exhausted. I've observed how your body is tense, as if your muscles have been trained to prepare for the next setback before it even happens. I understand what it's like to be surrounded by others and yet feel oddly aloof. I understand what it's like to tell yourself that you'll deal with the more serious issues later, but later keeps shifting farther away as survival continues to demand your focus. I am talking to you now because I don't want you to continue confusing emotional survival with genuine tranquility. I don't want you to continue referring to your Nama as strength merely because it got you through challenging times. I want you to stop equating healing with control. For once, look at me, my kid, and be truthful without hurrying to save your reputation. Get nearer. Stay still with me. Allow me to share what I have witnessed. I've witnessed how much of your life has been formed by something from which you never entirely recovered. I've witnessed how some betrayals altered your trust. I have witnessed how disappointment taught you to lower your expectations in order to lessen your pain. I've witnessed how you edited yourself after being rejected. How abandonment caused you to shut down entirely in some situations and cling excessively in others. Long after the initial wound should have healed, I have witnessed how suffering continues to influence your decisions, and since I need you to quit acting like that. You are complete while you are operating. Freedom is not the same as functioning. Resting is not the same as enduring. Healing is not the same as moving. Allow those words to land where they should. Allow them to remain with you. Allow them to refute the narrative you have been telling yourself. Since I've been observing, and I see more than just someone who has persevered. I see someone who has persevered despite bleeding in areas that no one else is aware of. I witness someone who has grown so used to bearing invisible suffering that you have forgotten how much it is influencing your lifestyle. Furthermore, if your survival is costing you your soul, I will not flatter you because I love you. If you just toughened, I won't call you healed. If the version of you that can manage everything has lost touch with tenderness, trust, and truth, I won't commend that version of you. Therefore, I am asking you now, not later, not when things get easier, not when life calms down. Take a moment, take a breath, be honest with me. Tell me where you're feeling worn out. Tell me where you're still upset. Tell me what you continue to play back. Tell me what you continue to avoid. Tell me what you continue to grasp for when the pain intensifies. When you come to me, stop censoring your inner life. I am already aware of it. However, I want you to know that I am aware of it. I want you to experience the comfort of being completely loved and seen. Real healing starts there. I have been observing the locations where you act as though everything is all right because of this. Additionally, I have witnessed the hidden costs of pretending to be fine in some situations. I am aware of the amount of energy required to keep up a version of yourself that is steady enough for people to engage with. I am aware of how draining it may be to seem composed while your thoughts are racing. I am aware of how difficult it may be to maintain composure when your feelings are overwhelming. You've spent so much time controlling what other people can see that you've barely had the courage to confront what's truly going on inside of you. This explains why some of your private moments seem so odd. Because of this, your thoughts become louder than you anticipated when the environment becomes quiet. Distractions feel nearly required at times because of this. You continually switching between tasks, screens, and conversations, because you've discovered that being still frequently forces you to confront aspects of yourself that you don't know how to handle. But pay attention to me, my little child thighs, is really important. Being motionless is not a bad thing. Being silent is not an attempt to ruin you. The deeper, just because a part of your heart hurts doesn't mean it's hazardous. The length of time you have continued to try to escape what has to be revealed has been risky. I've been interrupting you because of this. That's why there have been uncomfortable times. I have allowed some of your old diversions to become ineffective because of this. Because of this, some of the things that once allowed you to escape no longer provide you with the same level of satisfaction. The spots where false comfort has taken root have been touched by me. In order for you to stop mistake it for tranquility, I have been making the imitation seem hollow. You might be wondering why some habits make you feel heavier than you used to. You might be wondering why some interactions that used to be thrilling are now exhausting. You may have questioned why the same coping mechanisms no longer make you feel numb. That's not because you're becoming worse, my child. In a lot of ways, it's because I am getting closer. When I start to take back more profound areas of your life, things that, after blending in with the background, start to stand out. What was formerly considered usual starts to feel strange. What seemed innocuous at first starts to seem expensive. That doesn't constitute punishment. That is the restoration of discernment. That's your spirit regaining its sensitivity. That is proof that I haven't abandoned you. Thus, cease referring to the discomfort as bewilderment. Give up calling every inward pain a sign of failure. A portion of your sensations are actually the sound of your soul awakening. The conflict between who you have learned to be and who you are is part of what you experience survival mode and the real person I am asking you to be. I want more than your attention at this moment because of this. I want you to give up. Keep your hands open. Put the picture management down. Put down the formal language. Put aside the desire to seem unaffected. Enter my presence without the version of yourself that has mastered the art of maintaining composure. Let me meet the worn-out version. Allow me to meet the agitated version. Let me meet the version that is disappointed. I'd like to meet the version of you that continually says, I am okay, while secretly wondering how you can carry all of this for a lot longer without breaking. I am not requesting that you mistreat me. I am asking you to be honest with me. It's a big invitation. It is revered. It serves as a gateway to an alternative way of living. A life in which you don't have to use all of your energy to conceal your suffering from the person who has the best chance of healing it. This is another emotional period that will pass, so pay attention to what I am saying and don't dismiss it. I know how to give you an order that is wrapped in love. When the reality begins to approach, you quickly revert to avoidance. Give up acting fake. Give up performing. Give up defending your wounds more vehemently than you defend your tranquility. Refrain from going back to the same areas that deplete you and labeling the emptiness as usual. Give up telling yourself that once you've taken care of everyone else, you will deal with your soul. I don't think about your heart and you shouldn't either. Return, enter. Take a seat with me. Allow the sound to calm down. Drop your shoulders. Let the tears flow if they must. If you're still angry, let it come out. Instead of turning grief into annoyance, let it to speak. Instead of taking medication, let the loneliness be given a name. Let the humiliation be exposed so that it can no longer govern in the shadows. You don't have to tackle every problem right now, but you do need to stop running away from the things that have been secretly influencing your life. Here's where I want you to take a fresh look around. Not suspiciously, not out of fear, Take a look around and see how many times Ivy previously attempted to get to the locations you covered. Examine your surroundings and recall the times when a conversation unintentionally touched a wound you believed to be healed. Take a look about you and recall the moments when you made a decision that you knew was bad for you, and then felt suddenly heavy. Observe how frequently I have allowed discomfort to last just long enough for you to recognize that something within of you required attention. Ivy been talking. Ivy been stirring. Ivy been welcoming. Ivy been observing your hidden side, to keep you from becoming a stranger to your own heart, not to humiliate you. I don't think you re overly complicated. I don't think you re too harmed. I don't think you re too layered. I am aware of the initial sight of the injury. I am aware of the recollections that still disturb your tranquility. I am aware of the names that still evoke strong feelings. I am aware of the times you learned the wrong lessons about safety, worth, love, and trust. And since I am aware of all of that, I also understand precisely where healing has to start. Therefore, don't leave this too soon. Remain here. Keep your eyes on me. You won't be rejected if you remain where you are perceived. That isn't a sign of weakness. That's wisdom. That's bravery. The actual mending you have been putting off can finally start to breathe at that point as the fake self starts to release its hold. Let this be the point at which you cease appreciating your resilience and begin to yearn for the greater wholeness I have been attempting to guide you toward all along. There are some memories, my child. You haven't yet seen them from my perspective. Therefore, they still bear the burden of disappointment in your life. You recall the near miss. You recall what you thought would be effective. You recall the schemes you created in your head before they crumbled in your hands. You recall the relationships you believed would become safe havens, the people you trusted, the possibilities you leaned toward, and the times you thought were finally bringing you relief only to see them end, crumble, or subtly vanish. I am aware of your interpretation of those situations. I am aware of how frequently you told yourself that you might have gone unnoticed. Perhaps you weren't sufficient. Perhaps you lost your opportunity. Perhaps you had made a mistake. Perhaps I was keeping excellent things from you for reasons you couldn't comprehend. I am aware of how frequently you went back to those locked doors in your mind, attempting to make sense of what had happened and determining whether to place the blame on me, someone else, or yourself. However, I want you to hear me clearly and tenderly, because this reality will alter your perspective on the portions of your tale that still hurt. You were forgotten, which is why some of those doors remained open. Because you were undeserving, some of those doors remained open. Some of those doors remained open because I was aloof, quiet, or uninterested in what you wanted. I got there before you, therefore some of those doors were closed. Long after the thrill subsided, some of those doors closed because I knew what lay behind them. A few of those doors were shut because for a season, I loved you enough to be misinterpreted. Whether you could avoid a stronger wind later on thanks to that miscommunication. UV frequently evaluated those instances based on how they felt at the time, and I can see why it hurts to be rejected. Delays irritate people. Tillances unseals. The heart can create sad stories out of lust. However, I don't observe your life in isolated moments. Trajectories are visible to me. I can picture what would have happened if they had stayed longer. I can see how that chance might have nourished a part of you that wasn't yet enough recovered to carry it. I can understand how that connection would have reawakened habits you believed you were rid of. I observe the discussions that could have developed into attachments. The attachments that would have developed into dependence. The dependencies that would have gradually taken your tranquility, while persuading you that you were constructing a future. I observe the gradual harm that initially appears to be excitement. I witness the kind of loss that gradually drains you without making a big noise. That is the reason I stood in front of some things despite your pleas for them. For this reason, even if you would have preferred to hang on, I let some people go. For this reason, some schemes failed just as they appeared to be gathering traction. I need you to stop referring to every closed door as a tragedy, my child. Protecting your heart was part of what broke it. Preserving you was part of what disappointed you. Among the things that perplexed you was my hand's refusal to allow you enter a room where your soul would have paid a price you were unable to see at the time. I am aware that you desired clarity at the time. I am aware that you desired prompt responses. I am aware that you were looking for an explanation that would ease your sorrow. However, there are instances when I will defend you in ways that won't make sense right away. Mercy might appear as interruption at times. Before it manifests as rescue, love might occasionally feel like loss. You will cease lamenting some ends as though they were proof that I abandoned you. If you can let this truth to penetrate your heart. They were proof that I was closer than ever in many circumstances. I also want you to know that I wasn't just taking anything from you when I shut some doors. Something in you was being preserved by me. A distinction is important. You tend to concentrate on what was taken away. But because I step in, I want you to start focusing on what was left intact. In circumstances that would have gradually undermined your tranquility, I kept it intact. In interactions that might have clouded your judgment, I maintained your clarity value. In situations that might have taught you to harden in all the wrong ways, I kept your tenderness intact. In times when you were ready to accept anything far less than what I had planned for you, because you were sick of waiting, I kept your calling alive. I protect your future from the negative effects of attachments that appear consoling but would have become expensive. You don't realize how much of your life has been influenced by both what I permitted and what I didn't allow. I wouldn't let the door stay open long enough for the relationship to grow, so you never really entered some areas. Because I broke the cycle before it could spread further, some patterns did not become permanent. I finished something earlier than you desired, so some of the consequences you feared later never materialized. Indeed, it was painful at the time. Yes, it seemed unfair at the time. Yes, you might have wondered at the time if I heard your prayers at all, but I did include those for whom you were praying without realizing it. I paid attention when you asked me to keep you safe. I was serious when you asked me to guide you. I started closing what only appeared to be right on the surface. When you asked me to make sure you didn't miss what was really meant for you. I need you to look back at your past with fresh eyes because of this. Don't only recall what didn't work. Find out what it prevented you from. Remember more than just who departed. Find out what would have happened if they had stayed. Don't just recall the chance that was lost. Consider if it would have quietly devoured your spirit or nourished it. Allow me to show you how to view your suffering from a protective perspective. This isn't a denial. This is not to say that it wasn't painful. This vision is mature. This is the kind of comprehension that transforms uncertainty into trust and resentment into appreciation. Additionally, it redeems the pain rather than eliminating it. It allows you to stop pondering whether you should continue knocking on old doors. It enables you to give up romanticizing things that were never safe, just because they seemed important at one point. It allows you to let go of the things your heart has been silently revisiting. You need the firmness just as much as the comfort. Therefore, I want to be quite honest with you. Give up trying to reopen what I've already closed. Don't go back to the chats I brought you from. I pushed individuals out of your path, so stop dreaming about different possibilities with them. For your own sake, quit becoming upset in front of doors that I lock. You are squandering valuable tranquility attempting to decipher if anything that caused you pain was still intended for you. Have faith that I noticed what you missed if I closed it. You can be sure I knew how much it would cost if I took it out. Have faith that your tale did not finish with my ending. Give up, let it go. Give up trying to comprehend every aspect before you comply. Certain kind of freedoms start when you accept that my refusal was already a response and stop requesting one more sign. I thus want you to take this as a command as well as a source of comfort. Put an end to lamenting each closed door as though it was your final opportunity to be happy. Give up viewing every disruption as a sentence against your future. Don't assume that your life was diminished because something ended. My darling, I haven't been making your life smaller. I've been honing it. In ways you do not yet completely comprehend, I have been eliminating things that might have diverted, exhausted, warped, or delayed you. Take a look around you and see how often things that seemed catastrophic at first turned out to be vital. Examine your surroundings to determine how frequently your worst, what I withheld from you, disproved presumptions about a closed door. Take a look around and recall the connections you once believed were essential to your survival. The pathways you believed would complete you. The chances you believed would help you discover your value. Then observe how your comprehension changed over time. In retrospect, certain things that once seemed perfect now seem risky. Some people who were once irresistible now appear to be completely at odds with your tranquility. Plans that used to feel urgent feel oddly diminished in comparison to what I am forming within you. This change in viewpoint is not coincidental. Growth is that. That is my wisdom gradually taking the place of your former Hest. I have been training you to see with deeper eyes, and that is the proof. Thus I am extending an invitation to you to leave the corridor of your past. Get out of those ancient doors, leap ahead. Unclench your hands, allow the sorrow to give way to trust. Allow the question to become a surrender question. Let the desire to understand every concealed explanation be the assurance that I was present took its place. I am here, and I promise not to ruin your future. Since some of the rooms were empty, several doors were closed. Because danger was mistaken for desire, some doors were closed. I closed some doors because I valued your tranquility more than your fleeting thrill. And other doors were closed because I had something better, truer, safer, deeper, and more in line with the version of you I am still working to restore, other than just something simpler or more attractive. In the end, trust my hand, believe me, in the interruption, love. Have faith in my mercy when I say no. When I keep an eye on you, I do more than just ease your pain. Additionally, I stand in the way of anything that could subtly undermine what I am developing in you. That isn't a rejection, that is the defense of a father. That is a solid hand of mercy. That's love that sees beyond your perception. You will stop lamenting what was taken away and begin to thank me for what was kept if you let that reality to sink in. There were times in your life, my child, that never developed into complete narratives, but they got near enough to cast a shadow across your heart. Some of them are more vivid in your memory than you acknowledge. You recall the need to go back to what once held you in the middle of the night. You recall the temptation to send the message, resume the conversation, go back to the location, rekindle the bond, or give in to the habit that previously made you feel better for a short while, before leaving you feeling even more empty. You recall how crisp and convincing it seemed as the egg abruptly rose, and how your mind started formulating justifications. Perhaps this one time will be different. I had a clearer view of those moments than you did. I could see the shaking beneath your reasoning. I observed how loneliness was attempting to pass for desire. I observed how disappointment was attempting to pass for nostalgia. I witnessed how tiredness was attempting to persuade you that making a compromise would be comfortable. And I didn't just watch you from a distance. Since I witnessed all of that, I relocated. I cut them off. I stood between you and the thing that could have hurt you once more. That is why there were times when you felt oddly heavy before taking action. That's why your tranquility started to fade before your hand even made it all the way to the familiar. Because of this, even if your feelings were still separated, some names felt different in your soul. For this reason, something that had previously appeared enticing now became to include a caution. You referred to it as tension. You referred to it as bewilderment. You referred to it as being in your mind. However, I was frequently there, close enough to make you uncomfortable before your compromise was finalized. I am sure you've wondered why you occasionally feel so drawn to the things that have wounded you. I am sure you've questioned why. Even after you believed you had outgrown a particular pattern, it continues to whisper to you. Pain often remembers what numbed it, my child. Even when the numbness was accompanied by chains. I don't judge you just on the basis of temptation. Because of this, I take a closer look. I can see the source of the temptation. I can tell if it's loneliness, exhaustion, or embarrassment, disillusionment, rage, terror, or the need to feel selected once more. I can tell when you're not genuinely reaching for the object. There are moments when you want to feel relieved. Uncertainty might sometimes make you want familiarity because it seems too vulnerable. When genuine recovery seems to be taking longer than you anticipated, you may find yourself searching for fake solace. I am speaking to you now with both firmness and tenderness because of this. Give up romanticizing what almost caused you to lose your tranquility. Give up referring to outdated chains' comfort just by virtue of their familiarity. Don't go back to what I've already given you, as though time had made it safe. The adversary is cunning. Seldom does he come back to you in blatant darkness. He frequently returns with a voice that sounds nearly innocent, reminiscence, gentleness, longing, or unresolved emotion. He doesn't always entice you with unattractive things. Occasionally, he presents you with something that appears familiar enough to make you relax. I have to keep a close eye on you, because of this. Because of this, my closest friend occasionally feels inconvenient. For this reason, when you start to lean toward what used to hold you captive, I make you restless, and I want you to cease being upset about that interruption. Mercy is my interruption. Rescue is my restraint. I am not destroying your experience by refusing to allow you feel at ease in old locations. Am I safeguarding your future? Examine your life with an open mind. How many times did you nearly open a door that ought to have remained closed? How many times did you almost return your heart to someone who has no idea how to carry it? How many times did you come close to breaking a habit that simply made you feel empty inside? How many times did you experience an odd stop, a knot in your chest, a check in your soul, and then realize that the consequences would have been much more severe than the temptation itself if you had followed through. That wasn't a coincidence. I was that person I was observing. I was close. I saw more than just what you nearly did. Additionally, I was defending the aspect of you that still yearned for freedom more than it desired solace. Even if you are too exhausted to notice the struggle, I will fight for that bit because it is important to me. Additionally, I want to address the emotional pull itself rather than simply the external decision, because I am aware of how human your emotions can feel during these times. Because you love what wounded you, you don't always return. There are moments when you go back because a part of you is still working on the conclusion. If things go differently this time, perhaps the old wound will cease to hurt. You consider whether maybe you can convince yourself that you are no longer susceptible there if the person reacts differently, if the habit feels smaller, or if the situation feels more under control. However, pay close attention to what I have to say, since this is where a lot of your personal conflicts have become more expensive than they should have. Not every historic site merits a second visit. Not all unresolved emotions are worthy of being reopened. It is not necessary to take action in response to every pain. Letting the temptation pass without giving in to it is sometimes the most sacred thing you can do. Sitting through the suffering long enough to understand that it won't kill you, and doesn't have to become your master, is sometimes the strongest thing you can do. I have witnessed your delicate times when you were debating whether to starve or feed the pull. I've witnessed you waver between seeking relief and wanting tranquility. I've witnessed you tell yourself, I just need closure, when distance was what you truly needed. I've witnessed you claim that there was only one instance, when deep down you already anticipated that a deeper conflict would resurface. I've witnessed you dismiss it as innocuous when you were already feeling nervous. I want you to let my voice to overpower the internal dispute because of this. Stop when you sense that old pull. Take a breath, take a step back. Set the phone aside, get out of the room. Switch off the screen, leave the area if you have to, say my name out, stop the momentum. Don't let your feelings dictate your choices before the facts has a chance to be heard. This is not a sign of weakness, this is knowledge. This is an invisible conflict. Additionally, I am teaching you how to win it right now. You can't stop thinking that triumph must be spectacular. However, winning often appears easy. It appears that the message was not sent. It appears that the draft has been deleted. It appears that you will be departing early. It appears to be refusing to go back to the page. It appears that you did not respond to the invitation. It appears to be shutting the ab. Instead of fueling the discomfort, it appears to be sitting with it. It appears to be allowing the pain to fluctuate without making it your mentor. Heaven sees those moments perfectly, even though they may seem insignificant to you. I can clearly see them. I don't think they little. Deeper freedom swings on these unseen hinges. These are the quiet choices that have a greater emotional impact on you than any public event. Therefore, do not hate those private conflicts. Don't assume that I simply take note of significant setbacks or clear successes. I see the brief hesitation in your hand. I see the breath you take before making a decision. I see the inner when your spirit desires something different from what your body wants. You should struggle. When you refuse while still feeling the attraction, I notice. It is important. You don't realize how important it is. I also notice when you don't succeed. However, I don't see it the way you believe. I don't look at your collapse with contempt. I swiftly call you back after glancing at the deeper need beneath it, because I don't want a single compromise to turn into an entire season of capitulation. I am speaking urgently now because of this. Avoid normalizing the go back to what is causing you pain. Don't allow familiarity to give you license. Don't let your suffering convince you to give up your peace of mind. I have witnessed what lies beyond those ancient doors. From a distance, some of them still appear soft, but up close they become sharp. Although their centers are hollow, some of them nonetheless have a deceptive shine. They don't love your soul, but some of them still whisper your name. Allow that reality to sober you. Allow it to stabilize you. Allow it to hone your judgment prior to the next vulnerable moment comes. I don't want things to be only emotional. Therefore, I am giving you something useful and intimate right now. Establish boundaries as though your tranquility is valuable, which it is. When Axis continues to rope wounds, stop calling it compassion. When nostalgia continues to blind you to patterns that I have already revealed, stop referring to it as discernment. Give up presuming that anything still has a place in your life just because it still pulls at you. Direction is not always the same as desire. It's not always safe to be familiar. Intimacy does not always equate to intensity. Furthermore, incomplete emotions aren't necessarily invitations to come back. Put that in writing on your heart. Hold it close. The next time the old pull tries to appear as potential, keep it in mind. I am not asking you to be brave, my child. I want you to be truthful. I am not expecting you to resist temptation at all times. I am pleading with you to resist temptation. Before you follow the emotion someplace else, bring it to me. Bring me the loneliness. Bring me the pain. Bring me the restlessness. Bring the recollection for me. Don't go back to the spot where you were originally hurt and then wonder why the agony came again. First, come to me. First, have a seat with me. Before you take action on what seems important, let me explain what is truly going on. And don't mind if I interrupt you. Listen to me when I make anything seem strange. Pay heed when I take away your tranquility. Don't fight with your uneasiness until you've at least thought about the possibility that it might be my hand keeping you alive once more. I am not attempting to reduce the size of your life. I am attempting to prevent what I previously assisted you in escaping from taking back your heart. I am not attempting to take away your comfort. I am attempting to guide you toward comfort that won't leave you bruised. I am not attempting to belittle your hardship. I am teaching you how to identify the real risks. My youngster, take a look around. You weren't only acting on personal instincts when you nearly came back. They were disgusting. They served as battlegrounds. They were locations where invisible forces were trying to trade with you long-term harmony for temporary respite. However, I was also present. I was close. I was observing. When you didn't comprehend how much was at stake, I was in the way. Thus, keep this in mind the next time the old pull occurs. You are not defenseless. You are not by yourself. You are not left to follow your instincts. We are keeping an eye on you. You are forewarned. We adore you. Take a step back. Make a slow decision. Let me speak louder than the impulse. And return as soon as possible. If you do fall, don't remain there. Don't construct a house out of regret. Go back. Let's react. I will still be here, not to chastise you from a distance, but to support, encourage, and remind you that what once almost had you shouldn't hold your future hostage. I need you to take this more seriously, my child. You will continue to blame yourself for battles that are more strategic than you think if you are unable to perceive this clearly. When you are strong, in control, and acutely aware of my presence, the enemy seldom attacks. He keeps an eye out for any cracks. He examines the times after disappointment. When you are cognitively overwhelmed, emotionally spent, physically exhausted, or spiritually preoccupied, he notices. When you spend the entire day giving and have nothing left by the evening, he notices. He can tell when a minor incident has reopened an old sore. He can tell when you feel ignored, misinterpreted, or rejected during a conversation. He can tell when you are so lonely that you begin to crave anything that makes you feel connected, even if it's fake. And I watch even more intently because he keeps an eye out for those moments. I don't just stand by you when you're feeling spiritually alive, speaking fearlessly, or praying effectively. I watch you most tenderly when you're exhausted. I keep an eye on late hours. I gaze at the empty windows. I observe the post-conflict moments. I observe the silent fallout from emotional disappointment when your mind starts to search for solace. I am aware of moments when you let your guard down, not because you intended to rebel, but because you were just worn out. That is important. It explains a lot more than you may imagine, but it does not absolve everything. Sometimes you've been excessively critical of yourself without realizing how vulnerable you were at the time. When faced with a poor decision, you might have inquired, "What state was my soul in before I did that?" Instead of, "Why did I do that?" Were you worn out? Did you feel raw emotionally? Did you harbor resentment in secret? Did you feel overstimulated? Were you in need of solace? Were you disappointed in a way that you were never able to fully comprehend? Did you have grief that you couldn't let go of? These things are important since the opponent is skilled at exploiting fatigue. He enjoys unguarded times. He enjoys it when you mistake depletion for desire. He enjoys it when you believe that greater excess rather than more rest is the solution. He adores it when you make long-term spiritual compromises during fleeting emotional upheavals. I am speaking to you now with the care and caution of a father because of this. Discover who you are. Recognize your weaknesses hours. Recognize the times when your inner barriers are lower. Discover what transpired with you following specific conversations, disappointments, periods of excessive generosity, sleepless nights, and seasons of carrying more than you acknowledge. This is not a fixation with oneself. Spiritual wisdom is what this is. This awareness transforms ambushes into avoidable traps. I've been observing those trends in you for a while. I am aware of the times of day when your mind is most susceptible. I am aware of the feelings that lead to you reach for things that don't fulfill you. I am aware of the type of loneliness that makes you desire to be noticed right away. I am aware of the precise times when your soul is just weary and your discernment becomes cloudy. And since I am aware of all of that, I am requesting that you cease viewing your private conflicts as arbitrary. They don't happen at random. They have rhythms, they have triggers, they have configurations that are familiar. You will stop being surprised by patterns and start getting ready for them once you start to recognize that. Fear is not the same as preparation, it's liberty. With its sleeves turned up, it is wisdom. This type of pragmatic compliance safeguards your tranquility before the conflict becomes heated. Additionally, I want you to quit waiting until you are in the midst of temptation before reaching for me, because I am keeping a close eye on those moments of fatigue. All too frequently, you wait to ask for assistance until the pressure has increased, the idea has developed, the discussion has started, and a compromise has been reached. Feels partly formed already. However, I want to teach you something more profound and intelligent. Please invite me beforehand. Take note of your weariness sooner. The warning indications in your own spirit should not be disregarded. Express your emotional fear if you feel it. Respect your bodily tiredness. Identify your disappointment before it turns into self-destruction. Bring it to me if you are lonely rather than giving it to someone else. Before you make a stupid decision in the name of relief, take a step aside from the cacophony in your mind. You continue to think resisting blatant sin in dramatic situations is the only sign of spiritual development. But before it gets easy, a lot of it is just learning how to take care of your spirit. Say a prayer, take a nap, pray sincerely, take a step back. Oh, shut up. Leave the room, reject the discussion, get out of the atmosphere, flip the gadget over, go outside, take a deep breath. In real time, tell me the truth. These are not minor issues, they are holy tactics. They are the means by which you seal off points of entry before the adversary uses your exhaustion as a base. I have also observed you waiting long to react, either because you misjudge the amount of danger that can develop in a weary mind, or because a part of you still believes that the emotion will go away on its own. This is not meant to frighten you. I want you to be free, which is why I am saying this. Don't believe every thought while you re-exhausted. Don't assume that every craving is sensible when you re-exhausted. Refrain from using instant comfort as your compass when you are emotionally wounded. Go more slowly. Make better inquiries. How do I actually feel? What took place prior to this? Why does this seem so urgent, right now? Which aspect of me is weak? You can avoid needless spiritual harm for hours, days, or even months by asking those questions. And I want you to hear one more thing very clearly. The enemy wants you to be ashamed of your fatigue, because it keeps you in the dark and allows you to compromise. However, I don't make fun of your fatigue. In it, I would like to meet you. Before it becomes more serious, I want you to come to me. I want you to quit acting like you're stronger than you actually are at specific times. Pretending has cost you. It has caused you to spend excessive amounts of time in rooms, contemplate ideas for extended periods of time, relive discussions, and expose your heart to things that were already undermining your tranquility. So listen to me as simply as I can. Be mindful of your fatigue. Don't adore it. Don't give in to it. However, be mindful of how it affects your judgment. Act vulnerable if you are aware of it. Distance yourself from the things that are pulling at you. Don't stand too near the edge to demonstrate your strength. Show wisdom by taking a step back before the slip starts. It's not cowardly, that's maturity. In private, that is how people maintain their freedom. That's how secret fights are won before anybody else even realizes they were fought. I now want to give you a fatherly lesson that you must follow, since it will safeguard more aspects of your life than you are aware of right now. When you are exhausted during a conflict, stop labeling yourself as weak. Rather, learn how to get ready for those times before they happen. Create sanctuary rhythms rather than only regretful emotions. Do tiny deeds of wisdom to prevent yourself from being easily accessed during your most vulnerable times. Protect your nights if they are more difficult. Limit your access if some talks are exhausting. Bring that loneliness to me before it grows teeth if it causes you to act impulsively. Do not isolate yourself if disappointment causes you to act recklessly. If fatigue makes old habits seem appealing, stop the need before it turns into a choice. Legalism is not what this is. This is the practicalization of love. This is discernment on a daily basis. This is what it means to live as though one is aware that her Father who sees beyond the present is keeping an eye on them. Take a look around and count how many times you were exhausted when the battle broke out. Take a look around and recall how frequently your most difficult spiritual times started with exhaustion rather than disobedience. Observe the pattern in your surroundings. Don't treat it casually once you see it. Be serious about it, and get in touch with me as soon as you start to feel skinny on the inside. Avoid waiting until you are in the incorrect doorway. Don't wait until you've lost half of your thoughts. Arrive early. Be truthful. Come while you're still clear, enough to see that something inside of you needs a place to stay. You're exhausted, but I won't let that stop you. I won't be upset if you require rest. I won't expect well-spoken words from a tired heart. I'll see you in that delicate location. I'll keep you stable there. When your thoughts start to race, I will remind you of the truth. I'll assist you in separating what is sensible from what you feel. I won't always eliminate the conflict right away. However, if you stop acting as though you don't need me until it's too late, I will give you power right now. Some of your most perilous times, my kid, did not occur when you were overtly rebellious. There were times when you were just too exhausted to fight effectively. I have been paying close attention because of this. Because of this, my disruptions have occasionally taken on the tiniest forms. Because of this, sometimes your tranquility departs before your compromise is fully formed. I am aware of what is attempting to ambush you during your weak moments. I am aware of how softly the slide might start, and keep watch over your gates because I know I am teaching you today. Respect your boundaries. Send me an invitation sooner. And don't undervalue the holiness of basic insight. I am keeping an eye on the times when the adversary tries to wear you out. And now that I am telling you, you don't have to no longer be a simple target. Remain near, be mindful, and be truthful. And keep this in mind when it gets late, when disappointment strikes, and when exhaustion makes you less vigilant. At that point, you are not alone. I am present, I am close. I am observing, not to accuse you, but to protect you, caution you, and lead you back to tranquility before fatigue turns into a burden you did not have to bear. There are things in you, my kid, that you have never really expressed. They feel too deep, not because they are tiny, too complicated, or too painful to describe. There have been times when people have inquired about your well-being, and you have responded in a way that would swiftly put an end to the topic, because you lacked the courage to articulate what was truly going on inside of you. There have been evenings when your mind was so full that it was hard to pray. All you could do was sit there with your eyes heavy, your chest constricted, your breathing shallow, and your mind circling the same questions, regrets, and concerns you were experiencing, too tired to properly frame. I am more familiar with those times than you may realize. I am aware of the prayers you were unable to complete. I am aware of the tears you prevented from falling by blinking them away. I am aware of the moments when you wanted to cry but were instead emotionally detached. You were afraid of that numbness because it made you question whether anything inside of you had shut down too completely. I am aware of the difference between your quiet when you are at ease and your quiet when you are feeling stressed. When you go silent, I know it's because you're sleeping, because you have too much on your plate to even start talking. This is where a lot of my kids misinterpret me. So I need you to hear me very clearly right now. I can comprehend you even if you're not very articulate. For me to approach you, polished prayers are not necessary. To get my attention, you don't need to use the ideal language, rhythm, emotional expression, or spiritual terms. It's already yours, it has always been with you. Before the sigh leaves your chest, I hear it. I can hear the shaking and the take a moment to stop thinking. I hear the prayer that is concealed within your weariness. Beneath your frustration, I hear the longing. I can hear the pain beneath your rage. Beneath the control, I hear the fear. I can hear the sentences sadness. I am simply worn out. I want you to know that I am listening to you in a way that no one else can, which is why I may be watching you. I am not just watching you. I am paying attention to both what you can and cannot say. You've occasionally thought I must have been aloof because you didn't know how to pray effectively. You've believed that I must have retreated because you felt numb. Because you were at a loss for words, you wondered if heaven had also gone silent. However, my child, that is not how this operates. Your incapacity to articulate your suffering does not diminish my capacity to comprehend it. I am not confused by your confusion. I am not less present because of your emotional tiredness. If anything, they are the times when I get closer because they the moments when you just stand in front of me in your most authentic state without attempting to practice spirituality. That has a hallowed quality about it, a tired spirit that lacks the energy to pretend contains something sacred. I am aware that you occasionally feel conscious about how little you can contribute at those times. I should be stronger than this. I should be able to speak more than this. I should be able to pray better than this, you think to yourself. But let me interrupt that inner critic right now. Stop comparing your sincerity by your fluency. Quit judging your spiritual life by how well spoken your words sound. Quit assuming that silence is a sign of failure. Sit here with me and let me tell you what I see. I see that you still turn your heart toward me. I see that even when you are at a loss for words, you still reach inward. Even if your lips barely move, I see the pain that causes you to look up even when your thoughts are confused. I see the times when all you can do is whisper my name once, and I tell you the truth carries more weight than lengthy, dishonest speeches. Your silence is not empty to me. He is frequently full of hidden sorrow, full of exhausted, full of restrained tears, full of questions, full of longing, and full of a need for comfort that you have not known how to ask for directly. Because I hear all of that, I want you to come to me exactly as you are. Sit down. Stop trying to sound strong. Let the silence be honest. Let the tears come if they come. If the silence is all you have, let me meet you there. I am not uncomfortable with your silent spaces. I am present and active in them. I am listening more intently than you realize. And because I hear what you never say aloud, I also hear the dangerous things you have been telling yourself in private. I hear the stories you create in your head when disappointment lingers too long. I hear the silent presumptions that begin to form when prayers feel delayed. My child, I hear those thoughts before they harden. I hear them while they are still soft enough to challenge. I hear them while they are still forming. That is why my watching over you is often tied to my interruptions. That is why some thoughts suddenly lose their grip when you pause. Perhaps I was overlooked.